up, bros? I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are a couple of bros on a mission to give you guys the most detailed movie reviews out there with as little bias as possible. Welcome to the All Bros. This week on the podcast, we have nothing in 4K Spotlight because we are recording this a couple weeks in advance. But I mean, we did look. We wouldn't have had anything like decent to talk about anyway. So,
damn, Caleb throwing shade at Gran Turismo. I'm just got to throw that out there.
Yeah, just
so if you guys,
maybe a slight amount of shade.
So if you guys do want to pick that up, it comes out when this episode is released. It comes out the next day, that Tuesday, on 4K Blu-ray, and there are 2 steelbooks, one at Best Buy, one at Walmart. There you go, 4K Spotlight done.
Man, you didn't even let me put up the banner.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Lame.
Oopsie.
Anyway, we're skipping it this week.
Yeah.
We got nothing in Through the Wall, so we will be getting straight into this week's headliner, where we will be breaking down Chicken Run,
Caleb's favorite animated movie.
There's some thoughts.
Oh god, I'm scared, dude. I feel we're gonna get into like some heated debate for how much I love Aardman, and I don't know how much you love Aardman. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we will definitely be finding out. So, without further ado, let's say we get right on into this.
Let's do it.
Alrighty. Like we said, we're getting straight into this week's headliner. We do not have a question of the week because we are bad planners.
Yes, we are. But you know what? That's okay. For the circumstances that Caleb is under, it's completely understandable.
Yeah, we'll make it work. We will make it work.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so getting right on into this week's breakdown. Like we said, we will be breaking down Chicken Run. So if you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development. With this being an animated feature instead of effects, we will be breaking down the animation. We will be talking about the music. And then instead of costumes, this will be the character design. And then last, we will be giving it our own personal score. And all that magic will add up and give us our final All Bros letter grade. So, without further ado, is everyone's favorite segment, other than Rose's, that we like to call Reading with Rose.
You're such an ass.
You love it. Don't lie.
No, I do. I have a shirt to prove it.
Mm-hmm. But you got a Reading with Rose shirt? Oh, yeah.
You gave it to me.
Yeah, I forgot.
It's a present from you.
I know. I was like, how'd you swing that?
Jeez Louise.
I'm freaking dumb.
Is it sad that so I've only worn it once, and for the reason that I don't want to damage it because is it weird that I cherish that shirt?
I mean, we can always get another one.
That's true. It's I don't know.
I saved the file.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you did.
Yeah, dude, I save all the files.
Okay.
The only thing I've been slacking on lately is I haven't been creating the shirt image. Like, I haven't done that in so long. Like, at this point, it's like I'm afraid to start. I'm trying to find out like if there's a possible some like magical way that I can do like a mass export of like individual layers, because I have the shirt. Like, I have the shirt designs.
Yeah.
Like, I just haven't converted them to be the size that they need to be to put onto shirts.
Okay.
And there's like a bazillion of them. So, like I said, I'm kind of like hesitant about like converting them all, unless there's some way I can do like a mass export of my layers. Like I'm probably not going to have a good time with that shit.
Yeah, understandable, man. That sounds like absolute hell. That does not sound like a good time.
Nah, it's not too bad. Like, hopefully, like it's just progressively getting worse. So it's like, it's my own fault at this point.
I find it funny. Caleb will say that about like anytime when, you know, like we'll talk about, you know, like the edit, what he goes through with like editing and putting the show together and everything. And he's like, and I was like, damn, man, you know, like that's so much work. You know, like, do you need any help? Is there anything I can do? But yeah, no, it's not too bad. I have a feeling that he's hiding something from me. It's got to be a lot harder than he says it is.
It's actually not. It's
really, because you have so much work on your plate, and I feel so bad. I feel like a jackass.
No, it's like, it would be difficult for both of us to do.
Okay.
But it's like, it's easy just like for me, just because like I can, at least now, I can knock it out so quick.
Okay.
Like I can knock everything out. It's not like it's a long, tenuous process, or like it's not difficult in any way.
Yeah.
It just it takes attention that my deficit order does not want to give. That's the biggest hurdle.
Like, I promise I'm not trying to make it about me, but like just everything that you do with this podcast, the mini reviews, just everything, like just know that your effort does not go unnoticed. Like I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I have a good time doing it, and it's fun.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because I have a freaking blast with this.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I wouldn't be doing it for almost 300 episodes if that was the case.
Damn straight. Like with this episode, we are 3 away from 300.
Holy shit.
And we need to come up with something fast.
Yeah. Shit.
We'll brainstorm and
Yeah.
come up with something, because I mean, 300, holy shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry.
So,
getting back to Chicken Run.
Getting back to Chicken Run. If you have not seen Chicken Run, you have had
like 24 years.
24. Just about 24 freaking years.
Oh my god. Literally, this is Aardman Animation's first like full-length feature film. You've had that freaking long. They've been around for, I mean, years before that, but still, you've had that freaking long. If you haven't seen Chicken Run, like, come on.
Yeah, it's you've had an ample amount of time, so we do not feel bad about spoiling this for you. So yeah. So, like I said, if you listen beyond this point and anything is spoiled for you, it is your own damn fault, because this is Reading with Rose.
So they all die. They don't actually make it out of the coop.
Dude, how messed up would that be? Dude, that is probably less messed up than some of the shit that was in this movie.
Dude. Okay, no, we'll get into that, because yeah, there's like one scene I'm just like, I don't remember that. Like, they don't show a lot, but I feel for even a kids movie, they show a lot, because I'm just like, I don't remember them being that. What's the word, like that? What's the, god damn it, implying it that much,
dude. It like,
like if that goes over a kid's head, like I think that parent needs to do some explaining.
Yep.
Because wow. But anyway, Chicken Run. Here we go. In the countryside of Yorkshire, A flock of chickens live on an egg farm structured like a prisoner of war camp. The farm is run by the cruel Miss Tweedy and her submissive husband, Mr. Tweedy, who kill and eat any chicken that is no longer able to lay eggs. Led by the rebellious Ginger, the chickens constantly devise new ways to try to escape but are always caught. Mr. Tweedy suspects the chickens are organized and plotting resistance, but his wife dismisses his theories while being frustrated with making minuscule profits. One night, Ginger witnesses American rooster Rocky Rhodes glide over the coop's fences and crash land. The chickens put his sprained wing in a cast and hide him from the Tweedies, who were promised a handsome reward by Rocky's owner for his return. Inspired by Rocky's apparent flying abilities, Ginger begs him to help teach her and the other chickens to fly so they can escape. Rocky gives them training lessons. One evening, a load of equipment is delivered to the farm containing the parts for a chicken pie machine that Mrs. Tweedy has ordered as part of a plan to convert the farm into a profitable pie-making factory. When the Tweedies increased the chickens' food rations and ignored the decline in egg production, Ginger deduces that the couple's new plan is to fatten the chickens for slaughter. After Ginger and Rocky get into an argument, Rocky holds a moral-boosting dance party during which it is revealed that his wing is healed. Ginger insists that he demonstrate flying the next day, but Mr. Tweedy finishes assembling the machine and puts her in for a test run. Rocky saves Ginger and sabotages the machine, buying them time to warn the chickens and plan an escape from the farm. The next day, Ginger finds Rocky has left, leaving behind part of a poster that shows that he is in fact part of a chicken cannonball act with no ability to fly on his own. In the midst of her devastation, Ginger is inspired by elderly rooster Fowler's story of his time in the Royal Air Force to build an aircraft to flee the farm. The chickens assemble parts for the plane with a deck chair as a takeoff ramp and a line of Christmas lights to light a runaway as Mr. Tweedy fixes the pie-making machine. Mrs. Tweedy orders Mr. Tweedy to gather all the chickens for the machine, but they subdue him and finish making their plane. Wow. Fowler later reveals that he was only a mascot for the 644 Squadron. However, Ginger persuades Fowler to pilot their plane. Meanwhile, Rocky comes across a billboard advertising Mrs. Tweedy's chicken pies and returns to the farm out of guilt for abandoning the chickens. Mr. Tweedy knocks over the chair before being knocked out, and an alerted Mrs. Tweedy attacks Ginger as she helps the plane take off. Mrs. Tweedy is subdued by Rocky, who leaves with Ginger by holding onto the lights, which has been snagged by the departing plane. Mrs. Tweedy follows by climbing up the lights with an axe. Ginger dodges an axe swipe, which cuts through the line, sending Mrs. Tweedy to fly through the barn window and fall into the safety valve of the pie machine. The pie machine later on explodes into a ball of gravy due to the gravy pressure being very high, which interrupts Ginger and Rocky. Mr. Tweedy once again tells her that the chickens were organized, proving he was right the whole time, and who was now fed up with his wife's aggressive, intimidating behavior towards him, pushes the barn door down on top of her. The chickens celebrate their victory after defeating the Tweedies while Ginger and Rocky kiss, and they fly to an island bird sanctuary where they make their home. Sometime later, the chickens have settled into their new home, and Rocky and Ginger have started a romantic relationship. Nick and Fetcher, two rats that have been helping the chickens throughout the film, decide to set up their own egg farm, but they cannot agree on whether they must use a chicken or egg to start it, and they decide to go over the conversation again towards the point that they don't know how they are going to start their own farm. So I feel that. So what we were talking about, I thought that they were going to point it out in the story, but I guess they didn't. There is one chicken. God damn it, I forgot her name. That it turns out she hasn't laid. There's a part where it turns out she hasn't laid eggs for the whole week. And like everyone's like freaking out, like, oh, why didn't she tell anyone? You know, we could have given her some of our eggs. And Mrs. Tweedy picks her up, or no, Mr. Tweedy grabs her, takes her back to their house and takes her to the room and chops off her head. And it is so much, what's the word?
Like implied.
Yes, thank you. It is so implied. Like, honestly, if you don't catch on to the signs, like how, and because I just watched this. So we're recording this on October 22nd, and I just watched this again last night because I hadn't seen it in years, and I don't remember it being implied that much as a kid. Like, I knew what was happening, but still, like, damn, like, hell, they should have just shown it happening.
Dude, at that point, they probably could have gotten away with that. So her name was Edwina,
Thank you.
or yeah, but yeah. So I was looking up like information. It's like specifically about that scene because like I saw it like for whatever reason it showed up on my TikTok before I watched it. Like that's that scene. Like
fuck?
yeah, I know, right? Like freaking TikTok listening to what I'm watching next week. But yeah, so that scene, like that specific scene popped up, and apparently there were multiple versions of that. So there was an extended cut of this, and it was like right before it went into theaters there was a cut where you basically see it all happen, like not like it's a more shadow on the wall situation. So you see Mrs. Tweedy like raise the axe and then it comes like drops down, like that's what you see, but they cut that right before it got released in the theaters.
Holy shit. I mean, you know, I'll fully admit, yeah, I don't blame them, because imagine being a kid, like just seeing the shadow of the axe coming down, and did it show like the chicken's head falling on the floor in the shadow, or no?
I don't believe it did. I didn't
Okay.
see any, like you just see it go up and then you see it come down. Like
Okay.
you don't see anything like flap around or anything like that.
I would have freaking, like, kids would have freaking lost it if that shit actually happened. You just, even if it's just the shadow, you see the chicken's head fall to the floor.
Yeah.
Like damn. Freaking talk about traumatizing.
But yeah, they adjusted that, and then they were comparing another ending that they cut, or not an ending, like just another scene that they cut from the theatrical cut. They cut the scene where Mr. Tweedy pushes the wall over. So that was
what
not.
because I'm not remembering that. Yeah, doesn't it just fall by itself in the actual movie?
Yeah, so that in the theatrical version, yes.
Oh, okay.
There is an extended cut, which it sounds like that's what you saw, where he pushes it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But dude, like this was this was a dark movie.
Very. Yeah. Leave it to Aardman, man. Leave it to Aardman and DreamWorks.
Dude, like this wasn't like, it eventually got to the point of being like fun. Like it was somewhat fun throughout, and it was mostly in the humor between characters, but I mean overarching themes, this was not like a bright happy movie.
No, it's not. Like, and especially like when the chicken pie machine is implied, and like there are so many freaking close-ups that you get of like certain certain machinery on it, or when Ginger and Rocky go through the machine and then they discover the sticker, and like you get like a huge close-up of it with like very dramatic music. So it seems like that you're absolutely right, that this movie gets freaking dark. And yeah, maybe it's just because I haven't seen it in years, but I honestly forgot how freaking dark this movie gets.
Dude, it's either that or we were just too stupid to realize how dark it was.
Like the like the freaking part, like when they're like basically, you know, going through the whole like pie making process, and they think that they're finally out, but the thing smashes down on them. I never thought as a kid, like, oh yeah, no, they're dead, right? Yeah, as an adult, I'm like, wait a goddamn minute, shouldn't there's no way that they're fully intact anymore after that, right? Like,
No, not even a little bit, bro.
That shit pressed down fully. That wasn't a slight press. That thing went firmly down.
Yeah, that was dropping the freaking hammer.
But no. Rocky and Ginger are fine.
Yep. They're just like smushed in a cake.
Yeah.
Or in a pie, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, oh my god.
Dude, they freaking they killed it with this movie. And like
They
this
did.
is something that as an adult I have a way better appreciation for.
Same here.
But it's so weird because it's like was Mrs. Tweedy a bitch? Absolutely.
But you
dude,
can't help but love her.
yeah, but it's like in the end she's just trying to run a business.
Exactly. She's trying to make a living.
Like and these shitty chickens.
Well, no, see,
jack it all up.
If it weren't for freaking Ginger, I think if she didn't come along, or if she wasn't, born into the coop, I think that the others would have been fine with everything. It's that freaking Ginger that just set everything into motion. That freaking rebel. I feel I got a freaking story. Well, not a story, but just like an idiot moment that I had as a kid, and I didn't know until I was an adult. I forget the character's name, but there's one character that up until probably like my early teen years, I straight up thought was a. I didn't realize that it was a. That it was a chicken. It was a girl. I thought that it was a dude. And it was
talking about the nerdy one.
Yeah, Mac.
Yep.
Did you think the same thing,
dude? I thought the same damn thing.
Okay. So yeah, when I found out, it's like, yeah, Jonathan Duh, they're all female. I'm like, well, now I feel like a dumbass. But yeah. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, totally thought. Wait, so what? Wait, was she boy or a girl?
Yeah, Mac's a girl.
Mac's a girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought for a long time that Mac was a boy too.
Okay, all right.
So
cool, we're on the same page here.
Yeah, that tracks.
Oh shit. But I mean, overall, like, having not seen this, God, I probably haven't seen Chicken Run since high school. Maybe even, since high school. It's been quite a while. Being able to revisit it, like, honestly, it was like, I feel when you revisit, when it's been so long since you've seen a movie that you grew up with as a child, sometimes when you watch it as an adult, it's not going to be as good as you remember. Unfortunately, sometimes it is. It truly is. But sometimes it's not the masterpiece that you thought. This is still a great movie, but I don't know if I consider it like a masterpiece that I thought as a kid. I still love this movie to death. It's my second favorite Aardman movie, but just I guess it's not like, because I don't want to shit on this. Like, the story's great, but I don't want to shit on this movie, but it's just not it's not the masterpiece that I remember it being.
Yeah.
I think that's just my kid brain thinking that, oh yeah, everything was great.
Dude, funny enough, I am like completely opposite of you. I hadn't seen this movie since like maybe pre-junior high.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd been a long time since I've seen this movie. Like, I've seen bits and clips since then, but nothing that's like made me want to go, oh yeah, like I want to sit down and watch Chicken Run. So this was like a good excuse to watch it through adult eyes. And I had a much better time watching this as an adult than I ever did watching it as a kid.
Well, okay. I think what ruins it for me a little bit, it's certain characters this time around, like ones that I think liked as a kid, I honestly find annoying now.
That tracks.
So I think
funny how that happens, huh?
Right. So there's one, like, honestly, I know he's a main character, but like, honestly, I wish that he wasn't even in the damn movie because I find him annoying as hell now.
Rocky?
Yep. I don't like Rocky at all.
Dude, Rocky sucks.
Yeah. Like he brings the movie down for me now. If like I get that he has to be here for the plot, but honestly, I wish that they would have just been able to figure out the plane from the beginning. And I mean, yeah, this would have been a lot shorter movie. This would have just been a freaking Aardman short. But we never would have gotten Rocky. And you know what? I would have been happy. I would have been happy.
Yeah, I think it would have been completely fine had they not included him.
Because like I still love every other character just as much as I remember loving them as a kid. I think I even love Ginger more as an adult after watching this again. I freaking love Ginger. She's fantastic.
Dude, Ginger was the shit.
Yeah. Ginger
she was
the
only character that didn't get on my nerves.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. That is completely fair.
Yeah. So where are you sitting with the story then? Because this sounds like you're super conflicted.
I think story. This kills me. I think I'm going to be at like an 88.
88? Dude, yeah. I thought you...
What? Dude, no. If it weren't for Rocky, I'd be in the friggin' 90s, man.
Holy shit, dude. Like, you made it sound like you were like contemplating like low 80s, possibly getting into the 70s. Like, that's what you made it sound like you were contemplating.
My bad.
Yeah. I am personally around there too. I are not 88. Freaking hell. No, I'm sitting like around it. Yeah, I'm sitting at an 81.
Damn, I love it. It's like I'm not as high as 88. Like, good hell. Like, damn, Rose.
Yeah, I thought the story was good. But I think there's just too much stuff that like ended up bothering me.
I can't believe how different we are. Holy shit, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in the 80s. Like, it was
it's still a really good score.
It was a well-structured story. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think, like,
you know what? If I'm being real, I'm sorry. I'm changing. 86. There we go.
I love how
I'll go.
I know. I love how we make like a big deal of like 1 point. Like, actually, never mind. Talk myself down, like thinking that you're going to drop down like 4 or 5 points, and now it's like 1 or 2 in your case.
Make it 3, actually.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, that's it. It's not going down anymore.
But yeah, I thought it was well structured. It was decent. Honestly, there'd have to be a really good excuse for me to kind of watch this again. I don't see myself like revisiting this.
That's fair. And maybe that's the reason why it's been so long since I've seen this movie. But like looking at like I said earlier, with this being Aardman's first full-length feature film, and looking, at their like, what came before this, with, of course, with the Wallace and Gromit shorts, Creature Comforts, stuff like that. And honestly, the story that they were able to come up with for, I think it's not even an hour and a half. It's like an hour and 20 something minutes. For their first feature film, I'd say they still did a pretty decent job. I still like just because I'm what's the word? I like Wallace and Gromit out of everything Aardman the most, and so when it comes to their movies, Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit is my favorite movie of theirs. It always will be. But I feel that for their first one, I think Chicken Run does have a decent story.
Yeah,
it flows along at a pretty good pace. I don't feel there's really any slow moments, except for any scene that Rocky's in. But
dude, those scenes dragged.
They do. Like, oh my god.
Oh man. Like I was just like, all right, let's freaking go.
I would, if you were to take out everything with Rocky and just give his screen time to more of Mr. and Mrs. Tweety, I would have been perfectly fine with that because I love those characters.
Dude, same. I would have probably been up at like where you're at, 85, 86, had they taken Rocky out. But Rocky freaking just dive bombed this movie.
It's fair. Yeah. He freaking destroys it.
Yeah, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Where this movie does kind of shine, though, moving on over to writing. Dude, this had some like sneak attack jokes.
This movie still holds up with its comedy. Like, I freaking forgot how funny this movie was.
Yeah, dude, it was hilarious. Babs was a freaking gem. She was so freaking funny. Like, I loved when she after she fainted and she's like, "Oh, my life flashed before my eyes. It was boring."
Oh man,
dude, I lost it. I was just like, that's freaking fantastic.
Yeah, it's oh god, it's so good. Freaking some of my favorite interactions when it comes to jokes, of course, are Mr. and Mrs. Tweedy when she's explaining to him the machine, clearly implicating it's for chickens, it's for chicken pies, and he's just like, "Oh, what kind of pies come out of it?" She's like, "Apple." Oh,
dude, or freaking Baz being like, "I don't want to be a pie. I don't like gravy."
Okay, first of all, who doesn't like gravy?
Yeah, that's just
like,
absurd.
Yeah,
but I think that it was freaking hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
it was so freaking funny.
But I think my favorite running joke of Babs though is one when Ginger comes back from solitary confinement. She's like, "Oh, Ginger, back from holiday," and then when I already forgot the one that gets her head cut off.
Shit. Oh crap. I had like my little cheat sheet with the characters, and I Edwina.
I forget exactly what she said, but I think like after the whole thing, doesn't she say like, "Oh, do you think she's coming back from holiday?" or some shit like that? I'm just I'm like, damn. So freaking love that running joke. There were a lot of good jokes in this one.
Yeah, there were some great ones. Like I like I said, I like the Babs was the freaking like sneak attack jokester that just like kept getting me on accident.
Yeah, she had the best lines. When it came to all the jokes, she got the best ones.
Yeah, she was really good.
What were the rats' names? Do you remember?
Shit, is it that's not Fowler? No.
One is Fetcher.
Yeah,
and I forget the other one.
Is it Nick?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cast and crew, or is it Mac?
I don't think it's
Mac. Is
here.
Who the hell is? Yeah, gosh, this is gonna bug me. Yeah, Nick. It's Nick.
Okay, so then who's Mac?
Mac was one of the.
Oh, Mac was the nerd.
Yeah, Mac was the nerd.
Yeah.
This is a hard one. Like Chicken Run has always been one where that like the names don't really stick with me. Babs did. Ginger and Rocky, those are like the only names I remember. Everything else I'm like totally cheating on.
No, I'm the same way. It's those three, and then of course I'll always remember Mr. and Mrs. Tweedy.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this I think the writing exceeded the story.
Absolutely. Yeah, the writing is so good here.
Yeah. This is one where I'd kind of be up where you're at. Like, I think it's like a pretty decent difference. Like I'd actually be willing to put writing at like an 87. Like it's fairly high because, like I said, I love sneak attack jokes.
Yeah, me too.
This movie was just filled with them, and I think that's something that just Aardman films have going for them. Like that's like my main draw to them is their sneak attack humor.
Dude, seriously, like, okay, I know we're talking about Chicken Run, but can we just talk about how it's incredible that Aardman is able to pull off as many good jokes as they can get with Gromit, who never says one single word. Like the amount of humor that they can get off across with a dog that doesn't bark, that doesn't talk, that literally just mimes everything, that all of his emotions. And I freaking love it so much. Like this, I'm sorry, I got just really quick. The scene in Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were Rabbit, when they're in the town hall meeting and they're like asking Auntie Pesto, like, "Oh, how are you going to get rid of these rabbits?" And Wallace is just like, "Well, how are you going to catch the were rabbit?" And he's like, "With a big trap, of course." And Gromit just slaps his head like in frustration. And then when everyone's cheering, he like pulls away. He's just like, "Are you freaking kidding me? Like, you guys actually think this will work?"
Dude, Gromit's a gem.
He is. I love Gromit. But riding for Chicken Run, dude, I gotta match you. 87, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, moving on over to acting. We have the cast. So we have Julia Sawalha. Sawala.
I hope that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, who voiced Ginger. We have Mel Gibson, who voiced Rocky. Phil Daniels, who voiced Fetcher. Lynn Ferguson, who voiced Mac. Tony Haygarth, who voiced Mr. Tweedy. Jane Horrocks, who voiced Babs. Miranda Richardson, who voiced Mrs. Tweedy. Timothy Spall, who voiced Nick. Imelda Staunton, who voiced Bunty. Benjamin Whitrow, who voiced Fowler. All right, so what's your top 10 looking like?
Top 10.
Or not top 10. Son of a bitch. Sorry, like, I know. I was looking at the slides and we have 10 of them. So I was just.
Oh, okay.
my stupid ADHD brain can't freaking
You're good, man.
or look at a number and say something different. So what's your top 3 look like?
Number one. No, not number one. I'm going to save that one. Number 3, I'm going to give to Jane Horrocks, who played Babs. Absolutely fantastic. She killed every joke that she was given, and honestly, I wish that she was in it more. She was freaking fantastic.
Dude, agreed.
Number 2, I'm going to give to Miranda Richardson, who played Mrs. Tweedy. I freaking love her so much. I'm honestly so happy that she's coming back to play her in the sequel. Just the freaking shit that she gives her husband, treats him like a dumbass. I feel bad for him, but like, I'm not saying he deserves it.
You have a major soft spot for the freaking goons.
Yeah, I do.
I really do. With freaking Cruella and or the 101 Dalmatians. I forget their names.
Oh, Horace and Jasper.
Horace and Jasper. You have a big old soft spot for them. This is basically Horace and Jasper light.
That's fair. No, because like honestly, number 4, I would definitely give to Tony Haygarth, who played Mr. Tweedy. If he would have said if he would have had like a little more to say, I would put him number 3 in front of Babs. But I feel that Babs just she stuck more with me.
Dude, this is completely off topic. But just something that, like, looking at his picture, doesn't Tony Haygarth in this picture kind of look like an older version of Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified?
Why you gotta put that in my head, you mother effer?
Oh, no. Not Coconut Head. Oh, shit.
Oh, is it Martin Quirley?
Yes.
Yeah, the like fat fast talking won't shut up one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he looks like, dude. Like I said, completely off topic, so sorry about that.
We shouldn't like. It's okay if we make that joke, right? Because he unfortunately passed away. But it's
I
still
mean,
okay
it's
to
not
like.
like it's not like we're not being mean.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Just
don't think we're
mention.
being mean.
No, I
Like,
don't think so either. Um, you know, honestly, since you said that, I'm gonna flip it, just because I forgot how much yeah. So okay, sorry. Number 4 would be Babs, but number 3, Tony Haygarth, Mr. Tweedy. Number 2, Miranda Richardson, Mrs. Tweedy. But number 1, of course, got to give to Julia Sawalha, Ginger, fantastic. I still find it freaking bullshit that Aardman is not bringing her back for Chicken Run 2, because that I'm not going to get into it because honestly it freaking pisses me off. But yeah, she was freaking fantastic in this movie. I love the character of Ginger. She truly does a great job as her, brings her so much character, so much life, and yeah, I freaking love her. So that's my top 3, or I guess top 4, since 3 and 4 switched.
yeah. I'm in agreement with you. Julia Sawalha is my number 1. My number 2, on the other hand, I'm going to give to Jane Horrocks, who voiced Babs. She just knew how to hit my funny bone in like a magical way. So Ginger and Babs were probably Babs like maybe got on my nerves once. Ginger didn't at all. So I think. But Babs, anytime she was talking, dude, I was freaking having a blast. And then my number 3, I'm going to give to Miranda Richardson, who voiced Mrs. Tweedy. She was great.
Yeah, she was.
Dude, she was the worst. But in like you said, like it's hard not to freaking love her, and it's like messed up.
What's funny is when you see like the advertisements that they put out for like not only like when they were selling eggs, but especially when they introduced the pies, and you see her smiling face, that shit's more creepy than what she actually looks like in the movie. I don't know about you. Yeah, that shit is terrifying.
Dude, nothing's scarier than watching a villain smile. Like,
Dude.
or try to give a genuine smile.
Yeah. Oh man,
she had freaking like serial killer eyes.
She did. She really did. Yeah, that shit was terrifying.
This is gonna be a weird comparison, but have you ever watched Futurama?
I have not.
Oh, okay. You're probably not gonna get this reference then. The only like bad guy, like I put that in like some major quotes. The only bad guy that I feel does a really good job at having like a sweet, innocent persona is freaking Mother from Futurama, because it's like this old lady who's like wearing like a big old, like kind of like a old granny suit, so she looks like she's like plump.
Okay.
But then she like takes it off and she's like this skinny old hag. Like, but it's like when she puts the suit on, she looks like super sweet, and then she takes it off and you're just like, oh, like it's such a weird transition. And I think that's what I think of, like kind of comparing Mrs. Tweedy's smile. Like,
okay,
I don't know what point I was trying to make, but I think for someone who's trying to have a sweet persona, Mother from Futurama did it better. Mrs. Tweedy looked like she was ready to like eat someone.
Straight up.
Just freaking, hello, Clarice. Like that's what the smile said.
Yeah, agreed.
So where are you sitting with acting?
Honestly, just for how much I really enjoy this cast, minus a couple. Honestly, really just one person.
Rocky.
Yep. Yeah, Rocky. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go 92.
Yeah, I am not even close to that high.
Dude, damn. Like, I'm being too nice to this.
No, I'm sitting around. Oh man, you might want to kill me, but I'm sitting at like a solid 80. I think that other than the ones I mentioned, the rest of the cast got on my nerves way more frequently than I was thinking they were going to.
Dude, I hate you. You got me really rethinking with this movie. I hate you. Because, you got a point.
Yeah, like Rocky was definitely the one that brought everyone down. But the rest of the cast, I mean, they didn't do much to bring it up.
Yeah.
Like Babs and Ginger and the Tweedies carried this movie. The rest of the cast, I was like, okay, let's just freaking move it along.
All right. I'm changing. Okay. I'm changing it once again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going 85.
Man, you are just the worst.
I'm sorry. Okay. Apparently, I'm being like Aardman blind or some shit like that. Because, like, I just think everything that they do is a masterpiece, which it's actually really not. Like, all of their movies have problems. Not Wallace and Gromit. Wallace and Gromit is perfection. But
at least you're able to recognize your bias.
Exactly. Oh yeah,
I think there's a lot of character growth happening with you right now.
Oh man. Yeah.
Dude, I remember when I used to talk shit about like stop motion and you were ready to rip my head off.
Dude, because I'm like, when it comes to all animation types, stop motion does not get the love that it deserves. Still to this day.
I will agree with you on that.
It freaking irritates me. Like, it sucks that like Aardman now is strict. Like, their last theatrical release was Early Man. I don't know if they'll ever see any theatrical releases again since Netflix acquired all the rights, and I doubt that they'll release those in theaters. Freaking Leica is barely hanging on. Their movies really don't make that much back, so I don't know how much afloat Leica can even keep going, which freaking sucks because Coraline might be in like my top 5 favorite animated films of all time. Freaking love that movie.
Yeah, it freaking sucks, dude. Like there is it's like we'll get into it with like the animation, but like because I have some things to say about like stop motion and all that. But next up we got a character development.
I mean, honestly, I feel that the way that we're introduced to, I'm assuming we're doing this on Ginger.
Yeah, that's who I did it on.
Yeah. Hell no. If this was Rocky, this would be like a freaking like 50%, maybe even lower.
Yeah.
But no, Ginger, like I like that we're kind of just thrown into her story right at the beginning. You know, literally it opens up with a freaking prison escape. Like, I freaking love that. So we're thrown into this character that, you know, she wants to get all of all of her, basically her. I don't know if they ever relate to themselves as a family, but you know, I'm just going to assume that they're all like a sisterhood, I guess.
That's how I viewed it. Like,
yeah,
they seemed like they were close enough, and they were willing to give up eggs to Edwina.
That's true. That is very true. So, you know, seeing her, you know, want to make sure that not only her but her sisters can actually get out of this prison and actually, you know, go and live a good life, and seeing her throughout, like, no matter what's thrown her way, she always has a new plan. She always looks at on the bright side of everything, being like, well, you know, this didn't work, but you know, let's try this. Oh, you know, this guy Rocky, even though I freaking hate Rocky, I think that he can truly help us when that doesn't turn out. She's just like, okay, that didn't work out, but we're going to bounce back. We're going to have another plan. This one is definitely going to work, and it actually did. It was great. So I appreciate that she's a character that basically doesn't let anything get her down, really.
Yeah, she's like the eternal optimist, and I love that gets challenged.
Yes. So I feel that the character development, I feel it's pretty good in this movie, honestly.
It is. It's solid. I wouldn't say it's anything like groundbreaking, because
That's fair.
like I think where Aardman puts like maybe even 99% of their focus is on the animation, and they killed that. The character development, like everything else was just kind of like on the average side.
Yeah.
And it like no difference with this. Like they had a character that had a trait in like what I said, eternal optimism, and that got challenged, and they were able to like break through that and come out on the other end like greater. Wasn't anything groundbreaking at the time. It wasn't like, it's not groundbreaking now. It was decent.
That's fair.
But this is one I'm sitting at like an 80 with this one as well. I wasn't like blown away by the character development of Ginger, but it was
That's
good.
fair.
Like
Yeah.
slightly above average is where I'd put it.
I think I'm just going to be slightly above you at an 82. But no, I definitely agree with all your points.
Yeah.
I will say though, like I meant to point this out in writing. It kind of irritated me when Aardman was brought, into DreamWorks' hands, and they really wanted to bring that Brit humor into, American audiences, but yet, like, it's not. You definitely get some Brit jokes in this, but freaking in Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, I hate that they actually had to rewrite a lot of the Brit jokes because they felt that it would just go over Americans' heads. And it kind of sucks because I feel that British jokes actually are really good, and I feel that most American audiences can understand them. But like,
But you gotta think, it's not necessarily American audiences that you have to worry about. It's kids.
That's true.
Some of that stuff is just going to go over kids' head. Like, we're not the target audience, Rose.
Yeah, that's true.
At least not anymore. Like we were at the time, but
I don't know. I just like, from what I've seen because I've watched like videos of like how Jerry Bruckheimer, who was the head of DreamWorks, and how his relationship was with Nick Frost, and oh shit, what was it? Not Nick Frost. Sorry, Nick Park. Sorry, Nick Park and Peter Lord. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the.
I know. I was like, Nick Frost from like World's End.
Yeah,
Nick Frost.
Sorry, Peter Lord and Nick Park, and just how, like, it was that, like, some jokes that like some sayings that they had to change, that like, this is how you say it in our language, but we had to change it for American audiences. Like in Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, when Wallace tells Gromit to go check out on his vegetable farm, he says, "Oh, how's that prize melon of yours doing?" When it's not even a melon, it's a type of squash. And like, when it's smashed at the end, you can tell that it's not a melon, it's a squash. So like, there was that, the time pressure that DreamWorks had them under for like Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit. Like, really put like a freaking, like, after watching that video, like really put like a freaking sour taste in my mouth for Jerry Bruckheimer, because it seemed like they ended on good terms, but at the same time, I'm just like, he was kind of an asshole to them. The freaking everything that he put Nick Park and damn it, Peter Lord through, especially Nick Park, who was the creator of Wallace and Gromit. I'm sorry, I keep talking about Wallace and Gromit, but I don't know, just it rubbed me the wrong way, the way that DreamWorks handled Aardman, and the way that they kind of pushed them to not making as great a quality as they could. I mean, it was still great, but I mean, I guess it's kind of good that they ended on terms when they did, because no offense, like Flushed Away, I feel is definitely not as good as Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit. It feels like kind of like it feels like such a step back for me for Aardman. Like there's way too many like potty there's like too much potty humor and stuff like that for an Aardman movie. So it didn't work for me that much. Like I still enjoy it, but it is nowhere near my favorite for Aardman movies. I don't really know where I was going with this, but I just wanted to I just wanted to point out that I just like after the success of Chicken Run, I don't love how Aardman was treated by DreamWorks. I appreciate that because of DreamWorks, they were actually able to get a Wallace and Gromit movie made. That was freaking awesome. I love that so much. But I wish that they would have been treated better. Hopefully Netflix is treating them better. I really, really hope.
Hopefully, like I would love to see more original Aardman content.
I would too. I mean, like the last one, I feel like the last big Aardman one that we got was Early Man. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it for the most part, but just I don't know. It still felt like kind of. I mean, it was classic Aardman, but it was stuff that I'd already seen from them. Like, just it didn't feel that original. I guess. I mean, it was original. They had never done anything like that before, but just I don't know. Just it didn't hit the same way as Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit did for me.
Yeah. I think they just need to dive back into their roots.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
And do more of like Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit. Do the cheesy like British humor. Like I think now this is something like kids would get it.
Yeah,
like, especially with like a lot of our like kids shows nowadays, they're not like always American shows. Like
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, we got freaking Bluey is the biggest one right now. That's an Australian show.
Dude, did you hear the freaking ripoff that has come out in the States with that?
Yeah, that's a freaking joke.
Right? Oh my, don't get me freaking started on that.
Yeah, but I mean, we got Bluey. We got, I mean, as much as I freaking hate it, Peppa Pig, that's British. A lot of the shows
About that.
Yeah, a lot of shows that like Iris watches now, like they're all kind of like British based. Like they have British characters, they use British terminology. Oh, and like their cultural diversity is a lot wider than what I feel like ours was when we were growing up.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I feel like there's British humor that would have gone over my head that wouldn't quite go over Iris's head.
Okay.
Because of like stuff that she's seen and like terms that she's heard. Like I'm trying to think of one in particular, but like I know this isn't British, but like with Bluey, like one thing that she likes, she's like sunglasses. She calls sunnies.
That's adorable.
It's just like little things here and there that are.
And that's awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's just like she knows and is using like words that are like we're not familiar to us.
You know what I hate Bluey for though? I love it for this, but I also hate it. I've caught myself so many times saying "aw, duck cake" when something pisses me off. So thank you, Bandit Healer. Really appreciate that.
Oh my gosh, dude, you have no idea. I today in front of adults, I said, biscuits.
I do that a lot too.
I get judged very harshly at work because of shit like that.
As you shouldn't. But you shouldn't. Because I don't care what anyone says. Bluey is a very good kid show. It has no right as being as good as it is.
Dude, no kidding. No kidding at all. Like anything that comes out of that studio now, like I trust hands down.
Yeah, same.
But anyway, getting back to Chicken Run.
Yeah, sorry.
we could go on with Bluey for days.
Yes, we could.
Dude, if they release a freaking Bluey movie, like, I would lose my mind.
Oh, dude, I will be there Thursday, opening day. I'll freaking be wearing it like a freaking Bluey t-shirt. I don't care. I'll probably have Bandit on it. I'm not going to have Bluey on it. That might be a little weird. But dude, did you hear that they're coming out with a Bluey the video game?
Yes.
I shouldn't be excited for it, but I actually am.
Dude, I am pumped. Talk about freaking episode 350 or whenever the hell that gets it comes out this year, right?
Yeah, it comes out in November.
Yeah, no way we're not doing that.
Really? Like, dead serious? Freaking
Dude,
Bluey the video game?
Yeah, yes. Dead ass.
Oh, man.
We still need to figure out what to do for 300.
Yeah.
350. It's freaking
right,
Bluey the video game.
All right, it's planned. I don't know how people are going to feel about, I feel Caleb can get away with this, he's got a kid. I don't know how people feel about me being a single 27-year-old guy who enjoys Bluey as much as he does. I promise I'm not weird.
Dude, you are probably the least weird Bluey fan that I've come across.
Really? Okay, that's good to hear.
There are some like major Bluey fans that are like nuts.
Okay, all right. That one. Thank God. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Chicken Run.
Yeah, back to Chicken Run.
Next up, we got animation, and this is where I have like mixed feelings about stop motion animation. And not in the way that you think. Like, I could see you ready to freaking like pop off.
Damn right.
I have a huge appreciation for stop motion animation. A huge. Like, I love the art style. I think it is so intricate and wild for people to do. But I don't like watching it. I don't know what it is. The stop motion, and this is weird because it's like with Nightmare Before Christmas, it's like that movie is walking a very fine line between something I enjoy watching and like not. And it's because that, for whatever reason, that stop motion freaks me out.
Okay.
Like, watching it in motion is so weird. And it's not just freaking Aardman. It's stop motion in general. Like, I've seen people do stop motion with like action figures. I've seen them do it with like puppets, paper. Like, I've seen a bunch of wide varieties of different stop motion.
Yeah.
And each one of them, like, something about it like freaks me out.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, but like watching the process of stop motion, I freaking love. Like,
dude, you freaking like sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I've watched behind the scenes of like Isle of Dogs, freaking Pinocchio, or Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Hell, I've watched behind the scenes stuff of freaking Chicken Run, Nightmare, like all of that. I've watched the behind the scenes. Incredible.
Yeah.
But watching the movie itself, I'm just like, ugh.
Freaking, I feel this would have been Caleb because so a couple months ago, Fathom Events to celebrate, I forget how long it had been, but they did a special presentation for 2 nights of Coraline.
That
no, but so at the beginning, for like 10 minutes, the like 2 of the art directors like walked us through like how they, how they did the clothing, how they made the hair move for like running sequences. It was really freaking cool to watch. It was so freaking cool to watch, like how each character literally has their own huge like poster frame of costumes for throughout the movie. It was really freaking cool to watch. But I feel after those first 10 minutes, Kale would be like, okay, Rose, let's get out of here. That's all I needed to see.
Dude, I would have like excessively tried to like convince the people, like, listen, I only want to go for 10 minutes. I just want to see the behind the scenes shit and leave.
So can I just pay for a quarter of the ticket?
Yeah. Like, I'll pay for like I'll pay for like whatever. I'll divide that by 4. Like, I will pay like I'm not paying the full ticket price. I just want to see 10 minutes.
Oh shit.
Or be like, oh, can I like watch 10 minutes of this and then just run and go see a different movie?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the artistry that goes into stop motion. Despite my feelings about it and
Yeah.
how it like looks, I can appreciate the art style and just the work that goes into that. And this movie's no different.
I feel one thing that I also I really appreciate about stop motion animation is like, you know, like with like Pixar animation, Disney, you know, all that stuff. As the years go on, their animation improves. You can totally tell like how, like with Toy Story, like how it looked in with the first one in 1995 compared to Toy Story 4 in 2019, night and day difference. Like truly, the character designs, the backgrounds, everything. Animation has truly come a long way with 3D animation. I feel with stop motion it's a little different because comparing the stop motion animation in this Chicken Run to the stop motion animation in the newest one, Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget, I feel that the characters still look exactly the same. This, like, honestly, I feel that's a positive of using stop motion animation because nothing really changes. Yeah, sure, you know, like it's going to look more vibrant. It's gonna look, you know, a little better once you film it. It's definitely it's gonna come out. You're gonna get, you know, 4K quality compared to what we would have gotten in the early 2000s. But
yeah, freaking Kodak,
yeah,
quality,
right. But you know, the actual like characters stay the same. The claymation stays the same. Nothing changes. As far as I know, the characters look exactly the same. So I think that's one thing that I appreciate with stop motion animation, that yeah, the quality of the picture that you're filming it, or the quality of the camera that you're filming stop motion animation on will improve throughout the decades. It always will. But unless you're doing like major character improvements, that character is always still going to look the same no matter the way that it's filmed.
yeah. It's just
So
the artistry about it. You can't fake stop motion.
yeah.
Like, no matter how hard you try. Like, I think the Lego movie attempted to, but you can tell a difference between real stop motion and fake.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you said, it is literally night and day between like fake and real.
Yep.
And so because of that, like I have close to no issues with the animation.
I'm really happy to hear that. But the
Yeah.
question is what is your final grade?
I am probably around like a 98. I'm not like a solid 100. I think that there were some things that were on the jankier side at times. It like I couldn't like think of a specific instance, but it was just like one or two moments where I was just like kind of cocked my head to the side, like, eh. But other than that, like it's rock solid animation.
Bro, I expected you to be so much lower. I expected you to be in like the low 90s, not a freaking 98. That's amazing.
Dude, like I said, I appreciate the artistry that goes into it. It's just personal preference. I don't like watching it.
That's fair. I have to be at 100. I'm sorry. Because like to me, everything just flows so perfectly with stop motion animation, especially with Aardman's animation. The way that they're able to make these clay figures look I'm not going to say realistic, but the way that they're able to make them look realistic for their movies, for what they're trying to do, it's truly just it's a work of art, in my opinion. And there's a reason why to me, even though not all of their projects have been hits, that they are one of the greatest studios to come around when it comes to stop motion animation.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. All right, next up we got music.
Like, despite like I can only think of one musical number, the song that's playing when they're having that little, not shindig, but like that little dance party, the flip flop fly. Um, that's a freaking banger. Love that song. But other than that, I can't. I swear that there was another. Oh yeah, there's that song that Rocky's playing when he's riding on that bike.
Oh, The Wanderer.
Yeah, it's an alright song. Maybe it's just because Rocky's singing it that I don't love it.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, like like the music's good. Like if it works for the movie, but just it's nothing to scream about, or it's nothing to, I guess, write home about.
Yeah, it's this one's tough because like I'm not too high with this one.
Like personally, I'd be at a 7, but I could be talked down.
I was sitting around a 6.
I can give you a 6. Honestly.
Yeah, it was okay, but I think I've seen better soundtracks, and I think with like an animated movie, you could have done a lot better.
Like honestly, yeah, I've seen better soundtracks, and I've seen better soundtracks from Aardman. Like there is not one freaking like not, I'm not gonna call it pop song, but sure, yeah, I'll call it pop song. There's not one pop song like the Flip Flop Fly that's in this movie that is in Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were Rabbit. Literally nothing like that. But I still feel that the score is so much better. The not only like the score that you get for when the Were Rabbit first appears, but freaking when Wallace and Gromit are first going to their anti-pesto appointment, the first one up, just like the ending, the songs that play during that are just absolutely fantastic. So yeah, like this is definitely not Aardman's best soundtrack. I've seen better from them.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't disagree there. All right, next up we got character design, which is taking place for costumes. This is one that's pretty freaking good.
I agree.
I don't know if I'm at a 10. I don't think I'm at a 10.
That's fair. I can completely understand that.
So funny enough, I think my biggest character design issue was always, and this stands true even like as a kid, was Mrs. Tweedy.
Okay, all right.
Listen, so story time. Not really. I thought for years after seeing Chicken Run that Mrs. Tweedy was a boy.
No shit.
Yeah. And I thought that like when like they had the chicken and she kind of looked a little bit more like feminine, I thought it was just like a dude dressing up like a man, or so yeah, like a man dressing up like a woman for that. And I was like, that's weird. But like at the time, but yeah, realizing now that like Mrs. Tweedy was a woman, I was like, oh shit.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't like, it's because you don't see her freaking like her hair all that often. And like when you do, like I'm like looking at pictures. If you look at, like, first off, I didn't catch the whole "it's the woman's touch" part of her chicken pies billboard.
Oh, you didn't? Oh.
Yeah, I didn't catch the Mrs. Tweedy's part either. I just saw like at least as a kid. Like I just saw like the apron and then her hair. You can't see if it like whether it's long or anything. Like the only time that you ever see it is like kind of at a distance.
Yeah.
And yeah, for whatever reason, I always like thought or assumed that she was a man. And I was like, and I totally like. It's funny because it's like something I just totally like accepted and was just like, yeah, like just some dude who wears a dress. Like, at least for like the household I was raised in, I was like, odd, but whatever. But yeah, like when I like, it took me a second to realize that it was Mrs. Tweedy. I was like, what the shit?
It's like, wait a damn minute, so you're not a dude?
Yeah, I know. I think it's just because like Aardman's characters all kind of look alike in the face. And so yeah. So
shit.
So I mean, it's that, but I mean the chickens, the main cast of chickens, looked okay. It wasn't until it was like the extra chickens that all kind of looked the same.
That's fair. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's like they had their main cast that were different and edgy, and then the rest that were just like whatever.
Copy paste.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that's how what I thought. So yeah, I can't in good conscience give this a 10.
But can you give it a 9 or an 8?
I'm leaning more towards a 9 just because I feel like they do have a very solid silhouette.
Okay. I can agree with that.
All right, last up we got our own personal score. So you want to take this one first?
Sure, I'd be glad to. So as I'm sure it's evident, I'm kind of an Aardman snob. I don't know the phrasing for it. I love Aardman. They're one of my favorite animation studios, still working to this day. I don't love everything that they've done, but they've made some movies that I grew up on. Chicken Run was one of them, and Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were Rabbit was the other. After revisiting this movie so many years later, I still feel it truly holds up. The characters are great, the animation is great, the story is super, super good. Just yeah, honestly, talking it out throughout this review reminded me like I think I was like kind of bagging on it a little too much when we first started this, like saying, "Oh, it's not a masterpiece, or it's not as great as I used to think it was." It is still that great. To me, it really is. It's I wouldn't call it a masterpiece by any means, but it's still a great animated movie. It is still up there for me when it comes to animated films. And honestly, I loved revisiting it. I had a great time, and once again, it reminded me why I love Aardman so much as an animation studio. So for me, what am I going to give Chicken Run? God damn it! Sorry. I'm like on.
Dude, I've never seen you this indecisive about a score.
Dude, no, because I'm either high 80s or low 90s, and I can't decide where I want to be.
This may easily end up becoming one of the biggest differences that we've had.
Honestly, just because I feel that I'm sorry to compare it again, Wallace and Gromit isn't a film to me. That's what Curse of the Were Rabbit is to me. I love that movie to death. Chicken Run is slightly below that, in my opinion. So I think I'm going to go an 89 for Chicken Run.
Oh, boy.
Oh, shit. How low are you?
I am a lot lower than you.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Listen, I had until it wasn't until you came up with the idea to do this episode. If it weren't for this, I probably would have never watched Chicken Run again.
Even with the sequel coming out?
Even with the sequel coming out, I was so confident that I was like, yeah, I remember this fairly well. And For the most part, I did. Overarching story, I totally did. But it's like I missed some of the humor and quips that I was too young for at the time and whatnot. And like I appreciated them, and I felt like the story structure was good, but I'm kind of back on this boat. Unless I have a really solid reason to watch this movie, I'm probably never going to see this again.
Damn.
And it's not because it was a bad movie. Like I had a good time with it, but it's just like one of those meh movies for me.
No, dude, I completely understand.
Yeah. So my personal enjoyment of this was not high. So I'm actually sitting at like a 78.
Damn. Holy shit.
Yeah, I gave it a very solid effort to enjoy this because I was like, I feel like I was hard on this movie like as a kid and whatever, because like as a kid I like straight up didn't like this movie.
Rude.
Yeah, but as an adult, I have a better appreciation for it. And that's just because I'm not as big of an asshole as I used to be.
He still is. I'm kidding. I do have a question though. For how many times I have freaking brought it up, have you seen Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit?
No.
No. Okay. Well, buddy, it's on your Vudu, so you really should check it out. Just saying, you have no excuse. It's at your fingertips. I'm just saying. You don't have to, but like, have you ever seen anything of Wallace and Gromit?
Yes.
Okay,
I've
so you've seen some of the shorts?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you'll really like the movie. I really do.
I wouldn't put money on that.
Yeah, of course.
Because I barely like the shorts.
Ah, you mother effer.
The shorts, I think if I were to give those a personal score, I'd probably be at like an 80. Like, I'm like, yeah, like they were all right, but yeah.
Oh, hell no, you did not just disrespect Wallace and Gromit like that.
It wasn't intentional disrespect.
Sure. I'm sure it wasn't.
Oh, man. Just so everyone knows, he's going to be bitter about that for the next, like, month.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, since Caleb's, coming out to Utah, and I'm sure I'll see him at least once. Yeah, that's like the first thing I'm going to be like, hey, man, what's up? Haven't seen since January. So, Wallace and Gromit, huh? Not a fan?
Oh, shit. Yeah, this is definitely going to be something I hear about for the next month.
Yep. You really are. You really are. Shit. I'm just going to keep texting you every day until you watch The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Well, yeah, I'm not watching it past the 31st, so...
You mother effer. Okay, yeah. I guess
it is
a Halloween movie.
Yeah, so...
All right.
We'll see. But with that actually wraps up this week's breakdown. So going through these scores real quick, starting off with story, we kicked this off with a very sturdy 83. Writing had a pretty decent bump, going up to an 87. Acting went a little bit down below the story, sitting at an 82.5. Character development took another bit of a dive, sitting at an 81. The absolute high point of this movie being the animation ended up averaging to a 99. The music, average as average can be, but it did have one kind of, I wouldn't even call it a banger. It was just kind of like,
I would call it a toe tapper.
A toe tapper. Yeah. we had a solid toe tapper sitting at a 6 out of 10.
There we go. Something's not a banger. It's a toe tapper. There we go. We got to remember to use that for future.
That is perfection. Holy shit. What if we just, instead of like the 1 out of 10, we come up with like different levels of music. Like 10 out of 10 is like is a banger. Then like the 6 out of 10 is toe tapper. So, dude, that'd be the shit.
That'd be amazing.
We genuinely need to like think about that.
Dude, I'm so down. I love this idea.
Okay. All right, moving on over to character design. Got a decent bump up to a 9 out of 10. And then our personal score averaged out to an 83.5. So with that, the final All Bros letter grade for Chicken Run has come out to a...
Drum noise, drum noise, drum noise, drum noise.
You just tapping your fingers?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really work that well.
Dude, not even like a little bit.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to improvise here, okay?
All right, but it came out to a B.
Okay, I will take that. Yeah. I will take that. I'm glad it wasn't a B minus.
It was a pretty solid B. It's actually closer to a B plus than a B minus.
Yes.
So our cutoff for a B is 83. This ended up scoring an 85.12.
Okay, it's not bad.
Yeah, so it like just missed the mark for a B plus.
Damn, I can understand why.
Yeah, so let me see what this... Dude, gosh damn it. We're like... We all like with B movies, we always kind of end up in like the same area. It feels like. Okay, so like we said, Chicken Run is sitting at an 85.12%. That put in all the other movies that we have scored on this podcast and like in bonus time. We put Chicken Run below Holes.
Fair.
It ended up below The Flash.
Fair.
It's below The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I might disagree with that, but that's just me.
If it makes you feel better, it's really freaking close.
Okay, that does make me feel better.
It's like 0.2% difference.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, like these margins are tight.
Yeah, seriously. Holy shit.
All right, let's see. Unbearable Weight. It is below Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay.
It ended up below Cruella.
Okay.
And it's below Onward.
You know what? I probably don't disagree with that.
Yeah. Go. So
Onward
let's see if we agree going the other direction.
Okay.
All right. So this ended up above the the remake of The Lion King.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that.
It ended up above Hocus Pocus. That's a tough sell for me.
Yeah, but they're such two different films.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
All right, let's see. It ended up above the 2023 remake of The Little Mermaid.
I'm okay with that. I can accept that.
Yeah. It's above Megan.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, and then it ended up above The Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Sorry, DJ.
Yeah, I can give that too. Oh, that's only that's 5. So yeah, that's where I ended up ranking. And funny enough, even going like that distance, it's 0.4%. You're within a 0.4% bubble.
Wow, damn.
With all of these, like to go a full percentage below Chicken Run, which would be like 84.1. Oh, that's perfect. It's A Christmas Story Christmas.
Oh, hey, okay.
Yeah, and then I'd have to go into the B plus to find the other one, or go in the other direction. But yeah, let's see. So an 86.12. Nightmare on Elm Street. That's a full percentage above Chicken Run.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's going up 13 movies.
Holy shit! Damn.
Yeah, and then going below Chicken Run, going to an 84.12, you're going down 15. So it's 15 movies before you get a full percentage away from Chicken Run.
Damn.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy margins, dude.
Dude, seriously, holy shit.
Our B range is usually pretty packed.
Yeah,
definitely. At least lately, like it's been a hot minute since we've gotten like a C movie.
That's true. It has.
Yeah, I mean, hell, we had a period of time where it was like a C movie here, C plus, D minus, and then like the occasional B. Like lately, it's been a freaking hotspot of B's, B pluses, and A's.
Interesting.
Like our last C plus movie was Rise of the Beasts.
Damn, and that was in June, right?
Or C, that C plus movie. So it's been a hot minute.
Holy shit!
We need to get some shitty movies on.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
On our roster.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, that wraps up this week's episode. We hope you guys appreciate what the
I was like, wait, where are you going with this?
I know, I had it mixed up. We really appreciate you, and we hope you enjoyed the episode. That is what I meant. Nothing else. So,
say Caleb's got a big ego.
Yeah, I know. Holy shit. That's why it felt so weird. I'm like, I could feel my ego like being like, wait, what did you just say? We're not that confident. Stop. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoy this episode. We really appreciate everyone that listens to this and enjoys having a good time with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next week, that we will be back to our regularly scheduled recording schedule. So we will be breaking down Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, buddy.
And I cannot express how excited I am for that movie.
So stoked. So freaking excited. Have you seen the videos that are going around TikTok with like some people filmed on set of like the animatronics like actually moving and everything? And like it's so like that like a lot of them like got like hugs from like Foxy and Bonnie and Chica. Now I think there were stunt performers in the suits, or maybe it was just animatronics. Foxy was definitely just animatronic because no one can go into the Foxy suit because of the way that Foxy is.
Right.
But yeah, like freaking like it was so cool like watching them, you know, like hug these people, like the facial expressions that they would give, like one time that like their eyes would be fine and then they would go glowing red. Especially like the looks that Chica would give was like freaking terrifying, but I freaking loved it. It was so cool watching.
Oh, I freaking love that shit. But yeah, we're very excited for this. This has been a long time coming.
Oh yeah, dude, it really has. And I really hope it lives up to the hype.
Dude, you have no idea.
So excited.
You and me both.
I'm especially excited to see it in theaters, especially.
Freaking pumped.
Yes.
But yeah, so you guys can look forward to that next week. Until then, if you like this episode and want to check out more of our stuff, be sure to follow and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are basically everywhere. We're on all social media at the All Bros. And when I say all, I absolutely mean all. Like we're even on some that we don't use all that often.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, be sure to go and check us out. Give us a follow if you like our stuff.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
Yeah. So until next week, this has been the All Bros podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Deuces.
So long.
Hey, that wasn't too bad.
Thank you.